Trying to lose body fat can already be hard, complicated, and overwhelming enough without adding all the extra stress of tracking your food and every little thing that goes into your body. Today I'm going to be going over 7 tips that you can use if you do not want to be tracking all of your food when you're trying to lose body fat. Now, first and foremost, I do want to say that I am a proponent of tracking your food. I encourage all of my clients to do it. I think that it is something that everyone should do for a period of time to get the knowledge and the education that comes between learning your food and learning what's in it. Because unfortunately, just jumping to something like intuitive eating is a fast pass for failure, because a lot of people get intuition mixed up with emotion, and that's where we see intuitive eating not working out for most people because they don't have the proper education beforehand for their food and their body. I myself have tracked for years now and have taken times and increments of months off of tracking, but also have been able to maintain my weight and my physique during this time. But like I mentioned, it is a very valuable tool to have. I have my protein coffee in this big behind coffee glass. Let's jump into it. First tip is going to be eating 3 full meals a day that are planned out with either 1 or 2 pre-planned snacks. So when I say this, the core of this tip is going to be focusing on your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. Totally okay to have snacks throughout the day, but I do want you to at least plan those in and make them minimal. Most of your food, your calories, your nutrients, your protein should be coming from those breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals. What I'm trying to have you do here is avoid all the excess snacking that I usually see when clients are under eating or overeating or binging at the end of the night. Also, to this tip, I'm going to add that you don't have any distractions while you are eating. So I want you to be fully present with your food, not in front of a TV, not trying to have a conversation with someone over the phone, not scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, really just sitting with your food, and all you're doing in that moment is eating. A lot of the times the distractions, whether it's from our phone or scrolling, we don't even know when we're full because we're just so focused on what we're doing instead of eating and listening to our body, our hunger cues. And I find that when this happens, we leave a meal feeling just completely bloated, overstuffed. You're not giving your brain enough time to signal to your stomach that it's full. Also, it does give you a little bit of a stimulation break. You don't always need to be entertained. The next tip is going to be increase your step count by 2,000. So for instance, if you're taking 5,000 steps a day, bump it up to 7,000, 8,000 steps a day, bump it up to 10,000, and so on. If you're not tracking your steps right now, or you don't have a step counter, I would say start at 7K and see where you fall. If you're falling way under that, like 2K a day, then maybe aim for something like 6K a day. If you're finding it super easy to get that 7K a day, then I would say bump that 2 more K. Steps are something that is thrown around quite a bit, but it is honestly one of the most underrated ways that we can increase fat loss without restricting your food more or without killing yourself on a treadmill, because your girl will not be doing that. And I want you to be weightlifting or strength training 3 times a week. 3 times a week is usually a sweet spot, and if you have to do that, I would say do full body days on those 3 days, specifically because if you miss one of those days for whatever reason, you are at least hitting those other body parts other times during the week. It's super important to strength train even when you're trying to lose body fat, because you want your body to hold on, and if you're a beginner, even build muscle while you're trying to lose body fat. Because if you lose weight and you don't know if it's muscle or fat, and you're not strength training or eating enough protein, which I will get to, when you lose the weight, you're not going to look the way you want to look. So it's super important for your body to hold on to that muscle, to hold on to that body composition that you want. I'm going to put on my science hat for a second here, but muscle is actually the most metabolically active tissue on your body. So what that means is when you have more of it, your body burns more calories at rest. Literally doing nothing. Me sitting here filming this YouTube video, drinking my protein coffee because I have more muscle, I'm going to be burning more fat than someone, say, that doesn't have as much. Muscle is like gold to your body. Next one's going to be build your meals around protein. So when we're going back to those breakfast, lunch, and dinners that I told you I want you to focus on, when you are looking at those, I need you to say, where is the protein on this plate? And then build off of the meal. Or when you're planning meals, where is going to be the protein in this meal? And then build build off of it, not reverse. We're not starting with, I'm going to have mashed potatoes, I'm going to have the bread and then the turkey. Build off of protein first. Because we are not tracking our food or specifically our protein, I still want to make sure that you are getting enough protein. As I just mentioned, it's super important as you're trying to lose body fat to hold on to that muscle and just keep you satiated and healthy. So what you could do is you could follow something called the plate method. I want a large fist of your plate to be protein, about a quarter of your plate to be your carbs. So that could be sweet potato, mashed potato, banana, rice, you name it. And then half of your plate to be some type of veggie, preferably something with leafy greens, something with fiber in it. But when we're thinking about things, green beans, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, don't eat stuff that you don't like, but just make sure you're incorporating a lot of color into your meals because your fiber is going to also be important. If you are watching this thinking you don't eat a single vegetable on the face of the planet, number one, you gotta grow up. I don't know what else to tell you. But you could also ease into this by doing fruits instead of. And speaking of fiber, I want you to be hitting at least 25 to 30 grams of this a day. I would say this is the only thing that you really have to track. And by track, I mean just keep in mind what the food labels say, and you can literally add it up on your calculator. But 25 to 30 grams of fiber is good. Fiber is going to help you stay satiated for a long period of time. It's going to help your digestion. Bonus points if you can get fiber in the morning. The only thing I will say is if you work out in the morning, try not to eat a lot of fiber right before you work out because it's not really a time where you want your digestion to slow down, which is what fiber helps you do. Next one's going to be limit your processed food by 10%. Now, this is going to be a very challenging one, especially if you're used to eating a ton of processed foods. But again, we are not counting calories here, so we need to make other adjustments and lean in some areas. So that means that 90% of your food should be whole food, one ingredient, maybe two ingredients if there's salt or a seasoning in there. But I don't want most of your food coming out of a wrapper. I don't want most of your food being takeout. Home cooked food, take the time to prep it, one ingredient foods. Besides just the mere fact that they're honestly just better for you in general, when we're looking at processed versus whole foods, processed foods are literally engineered to make you want more. They're engineered to make you crave them, from the way that they taste to the way that they feel. This is a very real business. And a lot of the times we end up over consuming on processed food without knowing it because that's literally what they're meant for. So we're going to try to negate this totally and drop down your processed food intake to 10%. Last one's going to be make sure you're getting proper sleep and hydrating properly. You want to aim for at least half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. Add some electrolytes, add some sugar-free lemonade or a sugar-free fruit punch packet, whatever you need to do. And please don't negate your sleep. Sleep is literally how your body recovers, and your body will hold on to a lot of fat if it feels like it is in a state of stress. And undersleeping and under recovering is a stress on your body. So let's just knock that out right there. I hope these tips helped if you are looking to lose some body fat or change your body composition this year. Let this be a guide or a starting point if macros and tracking seems a little bit overwhelming right now. But if it is something that you're looking to learn or you want some more one-on-one guidance, I do offer coaching. I will leave that link in the description box below, and I will see you next time. Bye!